Well, good afternoon. Thank you again for coming out today to our district office. Once again, I would like to say it is an honor to have been selected as the new superintendent of District 150. I would also like to say a special thank you to the press for being patient over the past couple of months as the board and I worked on a plan of entry for my entry into the district. So I do thank you for that. I thank you for holding off requesting the interviews. We did have an opportunity on last night to begin the goal setting process for my evaluation for the upcoming school year. Our number one focus will be to work on improving student achievement, particularly in language arts and mathematics. So that is where we started our goal setting, and that will be the focus in the upcoming school year. We will focus on accountability for all staff members in the district, for students, for parents, and also for the community. When I was here in February, I talked about Team Peoria. Team Peoria does include the entire community, not just the District 150 school board, the superintendent and staff, but it includes everyone in our community. I'm excited about this new journey. I'm excited to be the leader of this outstanding district. When I say outstanding, we will be the premier district, not only in the state of Illinois, but across the entire country. So looking forward to that journey. I know you have a lot of questions, and so I'm ready to get going, but I would also just like for you to reiterate about my experiences today. A very special thank you to the mayor and also his educational liaison, Dr. Collier, for arranging a meet and greet with city and district officials today. It was a powerful experience for me to be able to connect with different community partners, and I simply stated, no excuses, just results.
How did this journey to Peoria begin for you? I mean, did you apply? Did the search firm contact you, or how did it all start?
Both. Both. For the journey, there was an advertisement. The district did advertise nationally, and one of the search companies I had registered with, and they asked me would I be interested in applying for District 150 since I had spent 5.5 years here previously in the state of Illinois. And so it was very interesting to apply. I was looking for a district that had some strategies in place that I had experience with. Some of the benchmark assessments that we're using currently in the district, some of the curriculum materials that are being used, and some of the strategies I used as a building principal and also as a district level supervisor. So that's what piqued my interest, looking at the strategic plan of the district and seeing how that was laid out, that I felt that I could get in and really get involved and be hands-on. So I was looking for a district that the entry would be, of course, there would be challenges, but I could use my expertise in the area of curriculum to make a difference.
How hard is it to figure out what you can plan to do, not knowing what the state of Illinois is going to do with the threats of cutting the education budget?
It's extremely hard, not knowing where we are in reference to the budget, but we still have to make plans to educate children. Children are still going to show up in August, and we have to be prepared. So we prepare with the bare minimum in mind and get excited when all the increases do come in.
Could you talk a little bit, Dr. Lathan, about accountability? You say you would like to see everyone held accountable. Staff, students, parents, and the community. What's your process for doing that?
First, my process initially is to start with the central office, looking at reorganizing the central office, hiring new staff. And when I say new staff, that could be existing district staff, or it could be staff from outside of the district. But actually being a part of the interview process for key leadership positions, working closely with the principals. I think the principals are the key for improving student achievement in our district. So working with them and ensuring that there's accountability in place for the school improvement plans that are being written at all of our sites, actually monitoring them and going through that and holding principals and their staff accountable for implementation. Things sometimes look great on paper, but it's what happens once we take what we've laid out in our plan and how we actually implement that.
What are you hoping to do? Build upon those student improvement plans, bring new changes to those plans?
I'm hoping to build upon the plans that are in existence. Like I said, based on our strategic plan, we have some key strategies in place. It's just about implementing with fidelity. For example, some of our schools use a particular reading program, and one of the questions I asked is how much time a day is devoted to that? What's the monitoring process for the teachers? What's the retraining, or I call it rust removal process? Because I heard, we had the training about 5 or 7 years ago when we implemented. I said, but what has been the ongoing training? So I want to build from what's already here and then make changes as needed based on what the data tells us.
Mrs. Wolfmeyer told me a couple of times, and I hope I get this quote right, that as far as the principals are concerned, you want them to be leaders.
Instructional leaders.
Instructional leaders, rather than administrators.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that for me a little bit?
For me, an instructional leader is one that gets in and plans with teachers, helps them create lesson plans. They get into the classrooms, they're providing demo lessons, they're helping teachers to analyze data, they're writing units of study with teachers, they're writing common assessments, but they're actually in the trenches with teachers and they're leading staff development. It's great to work with outside consultants, but at the end of the day, the principal is ultimately responsible for what occurs in their building.
You talked a little bit about having a centralized administration, and I know you're well aware of many of the changes that have been implemented in terms of the layoff notices or with the administrators. What will your administration look like? How will it differ from the current administration?
Last week, the board voted on a new organizational chart. We've looked at consolidating some positions, and we're looking at a structure where there will be a chief over curriculum, a chief over HR, an associate superintendent, and then a chief over administrative services. So we've taken departments and kind of aligned them based on the skills of those chiefs and what's required of that particular position. We are hoping to improve the structures that we have in place, especially with HR. It's unfortunate that the number of people have to receive, the reduction in force notices, and we know that's disheartening, but it's happening across the entire country, and it can't be avoided. But we want to make sure that when we need to do a reduction in staff, we only reduce the exact number that we need, that we don't have to do it in mass, and then have to go back through the process of bringing people back, because that can be, it's emotional for people, especially in this day and time.
It's too early to say what that exact number is that you're going to need.
Yes, it is too early to say.
How much of a role have you played in these, all of this new restructuring and reorganization?
We've been in contact via telephone, emails, with feedback. I've looked at different structures and provided some feedback, made some changes, made recommendations. But we have been working, together. I've been working with the interim superintendent and also with the board and some key staff members, our treasurer, and also our human resources executive director. So I have had some input into the organizational structure.
Now, you said coming in that you were going to have some challenges that you'd have to face, and probably one of the biggest challenges right now with the district is the budget and some of the issues you're having with that. Any plans, ideas on how you might start working towards fixing that?
Can we all move to Springfield? We are, like I said, once again, looking at our structures, looking at our funding sources, looking at the Title I budget, looking at all the different school improvement grants, and just looking at all the budgets and how we expend money now, looking at grant-funded positions, ensuring that if a grant is ending on June 30th, ensuring that those positions have to go away, because we can't continue to hit the general funds with positions. So working through it, don't have all the answers right now, to be very honest with you, because everything is going to be contingent upon what's decided in Springfield. One of the major challenges for me right now is also our early childhood program, knowing that we've got to take some hits to early childhood. And that's disheartening, because our early childhood program should be our strongest program because of the fact that's giving our students the entry into our district and in their entry into education.
This is your first superintendent's job, right?
Yes, sir.
What are the opportunities? What are the challenges that you see with that?
The opportunities right now for me is being able to be in the rebuilding stage of where we are in this particular district. So that's an opportunity. It's exciting to be able to build a team, to work collaboratively not only with our school board, but with our city. Right now, I think this is an exciting time as we talk about redevelopment, looking at the impacted zones and all the changes. That's the opportunity and the deciding part. The challenge is, once again, what's happening with our budgets. Like I said, not only in the state of Illinois, but across the entire country. And education continues to take the hit. We haven't put all of our values and beliefs behind ensuring that we have a sound education program and funding in place for our school districts. So to me, that will be the challenge.